YouTube, my name is Mesa Sean and welcome back to another Borderlands 3 video. This video is going to be all about Zane, and we're going to cover Zane's action skills, his passive abilities, and his augments. Now, I was able to get some hands-on time with Zane at the Borderlands 3 reveal, thanks to 2K and Gearbox. Now, I was able to record his abilities and skill trees and augments and things like that. However, there's a really cool website that I will link in the description, and also the Redditor, I believe, that found it. So with this link, you can go in right now and take a look at the different Vault Hunters and select by using keys 6, 7, 8, and 9, and actually take a look and see, well, okay, which one do I want to see, and inspect all of the different skill trees, passive abilities, and so forth. However, you can only see Amara and Zane at this point. If you press 8 or 9 and go to Moze or the Beastmaster, when you go, let's go to the Beastmaster. And when you click on skill tree, it's all blank right here. So we're going to go back to find Zane here, press 7. Then when we go over here to skill tree, now we can see everything. And his three main action skills are going to be Undercover, we have Hitman, and we have Double Agent. We're going to kick it off with the ones that I used. I used Hitman, and I also used Double Agent. Now, Zane is a unique character in that he can ditch the grenade and actually have two of the action skills. So when I was playing, I had Hitman and I had Double Agent active. Now, not only do you have your passive abilities here that you can see, and as you get your tokens, you can upgrade these or your skill points, you also have augments off to the side here. And we see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to go in these slots down here. So it's the same for these other action skills right here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go over Double Agent, and the action skill is your Digiclone. So spawn a Digiclone of Zane. This clone stays in place but distracts and fires at enemies. Pressing the action skill button or grenade button while the clone is active causes Zane and the clone to swap places. So you can spawn your clone in the back of a room somewhere. It'll cause some distractions. And then if you get in harm's way, you can teleport and swap places with that clone, and then the clone will go where harm's way was. You can get out of the bad situation. Very, very useful. Now let's move into the passive abilities. So this one here, Synchronicity, whenever one of more Zane's action skills are active, he gains increased gun damage for each active action skill. Next up, we have this one here. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. Zane and his Digiclone gain increased magazine size. Then we have this one here, Borrowed Time. Zane gains increased action skill duration for every active action skill. And remember, he can have two action skills going at the same time. All right, next up here, we have Dannybrook. Kill skill. Whenever Zane kills an enemy, he and his Digiclone receive increased gun damage and gain health regeneration for a few seconds. Next up here, we've got Fractal Frags. The Digiclone throws a copy of Zane's current grenade mod when it is first activated. If the Digiclone is killed, it drops a free grenade. Kill skill. Killing an enemy while the Digiclone is active gives the clone a chance to throw a grenade. Next up here, we have Duct Tape Mod. The first shot fired from Zane's gun has a chance to also fire a grenade. The more grenades in his capacity, the higher the chance. So if you put that on, make sure you're loaded up on grenades. Right here, we have Quick Breather. Whenever Zane swaps places with his clone, his shield immediately begins recharging. Goes back to the whole thing with, hey, I'm in a bad situation, I need to teleport to my clone. Well, my shield is down, let me teleport and get my shield back. Moving along, we have Pocketful of Grenades, and that's going to be a kill skill. After killing an enemy, Zane gains grenade regeneration for a few seconds. Now this one here, this is going to come in handy if you need to get out of a bad situation and come back to life. So press the action skill button or the grenade button during Fight for Your Life if Digiclone is active to destroy the clone and immediately gain a second win, and you're going to get full health. I like that one a lot. Then we have Supersonic Man. Whenever one or more, I don't know why it says of, it should be, whenever one or more of Zane's action skills are active, he gains increased movement speed for each active action skill. Next up, we have Like a Ghost. Zane and his Digiclone give a chance to ignore bullets. This chance is increased for a few seconds after activating an action skill. This effect will stack. Then we have Boom Enhance. Whenever Zane summons his Digiclone, it consumes up to 3 grenades. For every grenade consumed, the Digiclone gains increased gun damage, max health, fire rate, and reload speed. So you can make that Digiclone really powerful if you're loaded up on grenades. I like that one. Then we have Trick of Light. Zane deals bonus shock damage to enemies that are not targeting him. And lastly, we have Double Barrel. The clone is equipped with a copy of Zane's current weapon when activated. Swapping places with the clone causes Zane and his clone to gain increased gun damage. Now let's take a look at the 5 augments you have for Double Agent. So first off, we have this one here, the binary system. Whenever Zane swaps places with his clone, a Cryonova is triggered around Zane and his clone. Next up, if we move down here, we have this one here, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it. Whenever the clone takes damage, Zane's shield is restored by a portion of that damage. Then we have Doppelganger. Hold down the action skill button or the grenade button to end this action skill early. When Zane's action skill is ended, the clone explodes, dealing fire damage to all nearby enemies. The more action skill time remaining, the greater the damage. So plop that Digiclone down in an area where you have a lot of ads, and boom, he's going to explode and cause some serious havoc. Then we have Which One's Real. Enemies are more likely to target the clone for a few seconds after it's summoned and after swapping places. Then the last augment we have is Digital Distribution. If Zane takes health damage while the clone is active, a portion of that damage is shared to his clone instead. Now, Double Agent, I actually loved this skill, this action skill, when I was playing Borderlands 3. In fact, I usually would run up into the middle of where all the ads were, plop the Double Agent, the Digiclone down, and then run away and get out of harm's way and let them all deal with him. Next up, let's talk about Hitman. That's the other action skill I was using alongside with the Double Agent. So you're going to send out a Sentinel drone that continually flies through the environment and attacks enemies with its machine guns. Pressing the action skill button or grenade button while Sentinel is active causes it to attack enemies under Zane's crosshairs. So you could do a little bit of targeting with this one. Once again, we've got all these passive abilities and we've got some augments here. First up, let's talk about Violent Speed. This one's going to be a kill skill. After killing an enemy, Zane gains increased movement speed for a few seconds. Next up, we have Cold Bore, and this one's going to be about cryo damage. So Zane gains increased weapon swap speed. The next shot fired after swapping weapons is going to deal some bonus cryo damage. Then we have Violent Momentum. Zane's gun damage is increased while moving. The quicker he moves, the greater the gun damage bonus. Now, with the new movement mechanics, you can do a lot of sliding in this game, so I could picture this being very useful, sliding and shotgunning. Then we have Cool Hand. Zane gains increased reload speed and also has a kill skill. After killing an enemy, Zane's reload speed is increased for a few seconds. Then we have Drone Delivery. The Sentry will occasionally drop a free grenade based on your current grenade mod while attacking enemies. Then we have this one here, Salvation. This is going to be a kill skill. After killing an enemy, Zane's weapon gains lifesteal for a few seconds. Then we have Seeing Red. Activating an action skill automatically activates all of Zane's kill skills. Moving along, we have Violent Violence. This is going to be a kill skill. After killing an enemy, Zane gains increased fire rate for a few seconds. Then we have Playing Dirty, another kill skill. After killing an enemy, Zane's next 5 shots all have a chance to fire an additional projectile. Moving along, we've got Good Misfortune. That's going to be another kill skill. Killing an enemy increases Zane's action skill duration. This skill has diminishing returns. And then lastly, we have Death Follows Close. All of Zane's kill skills gain increased effect and duration. So you can see right now, in terms of his passive abilities, lots of kill skills right here. All right, let's move along to the augments right now. So the first augment is called Winter's Drone. Converts the Sentinel's primary weapon to cryo damage. Moving along, we've got the Bad Dose. The Sentinel occasionally shoots out a beam of radiation. Remember, guys, I covered this the other day in my news video. Radiation is going to be one of the new elemental type of, elements, I mean. Okay, so occasionally shoots out a beam of radiation that weakens enemies and buffs Zane. Radiation is one of the new elements where if you shoot an enemy and they die from radiation, they will explode and the enemies near them will take radiation damage. So, moving along here, for every weakened enemy, Zane's movement speed and fire rate are increased. Weakened enemies have decreased movement speed and also attack speed, so you're going to slow them down if they actually take some damage from the radiation. Then we've got here Boomsday. The Sentinel adds a rocket pod to its primary weapons, allowing it to shoot rockets as well as machine guns. The final two augments you could choose from are Static Field and we have Almighty Ordnance. So for Static Field, the Sentinel emits a static field that sends a shock beam to nearby enemies, draining their shields and replenishing Zane's. Then lastly here we've got Almighty Ordnance. Hold down the action skill button or the grenade button while Sentinel is deployed to paint a target area. The Sentinel fires a missile barrage at that area, and if an enemy is killed, Almighty Ordnance's duration is reset. This can only be used once per action skill use. Lastly, let's talk about Undercover and the main action skill, which is Barrier. Now, when I was playing and recording Borderlands 3, I was sticking with Double Agent and Hitman just because they were more fun. But the Barrier can be very useful, and we're going to go through it. So, the action skill for Barrier is you drop a deployable barrier that blocks incoming projectiles. Zane and his allies can shoot through the barrier, dealing increased gun damage. Pressing the action skill button or the grenade button while the barrier is active picks up and actually holds the barrier, but the size and bonuses are going to be decreased. Moving along to the passive abilities, we have Adrenaline. Zane gains increased action skill cooldown. This bonus is based on the amount of shield he has. The more percent full, the greater the bonus. Then we have Hearty Snack. Zane gains increased maximum shield capacity. Then we have Ready for Action, as Zane gains improved shield recharge rate and shield recharge delay. Next up is Brain Freeze. Whenever Zane scores a critical hit on an enemy, there's a chance they will be slowed. Then we have Stiff Upper Lip. Whenever Zane is damaged, he gains damage resistance against that damage type. Then we have Rise to the Occasion. Zane gains health regeneration. The lower his shield is, the higher the bonus. While Zane's shields are full, he does not receive any health regeneration. Then we have Confident Competence. While Zane's shields are active, he gains increased gun damage and accuracy. The bonus is based on the amount of shields he has. The more percent full, the greater the bonus. Moving along, we have Really Expensive Jacket. Elemental damage over time, effects applied to Zane have reduced duration. Next up, we finally have a kill skill for this particular action skill. So this one is called Best Served Cold. Whenever Zane kills an enemy, they create a Cryonova, dealing damage to all nearby enemies. This skill has a short cooldown. Moving along, we have Futility Belt, and this one also has a kill skill attached to it. So Zane gains resistance to non-elemental damage. The kill skill, all elemental damage Zane takes is converted to non-elemental damage. Then we have Refreshment. Whenever Zane damages a frozen enemy with his weapon, he gains some of that damage back as health. Then we have Calm, Cool, Collected. Whenever Zane freezes an enemy, his shield instantly begins recharging. If Zane's shields are already full, he regenerates health for a few seconds. If Zane's health is already full, his action skill cooldowns and durations are immediately reset. Pretty cool, I like that one. Then we have Nerves of Steel. Zane gains increasing accuracy and handling. The longer his shield is full, the greater the bonus. And then we have Distributed Denial. Zane's barrier gains the effects of his currently equipped shield mod. Additionally, shield effects are applied to all allies near the barrier. Bonuses to Zane are reduced. Now let's look at the augments, and the first one we have is Charged Relay. Whenever Zane or an ally touches the barrier, they gain increased movement speed and fire rate for a few seconds. Then we have Nanites or Some Shite. Zane and his allies gain health regeneration, increased reload speed, and greatly improved shield recharge delay while just near his barrier. The lower their health, the more health is regenerated. Lastly, we have Redistribution. Zane and allies near the barrier gain increased gun damage for a few seconds after the barrier takes some damage. Moving along, we have All-Rounder. Zane's barrier becomes a dome covering all sides. Then lastly, we have Deterrence Field. Enemies that touch the barrier take shock damage and are staggered. So overall, I didn't get to use this, but what I'm kind of reading into this whole thing with all the passive abilities and the augments is this is going to be really good when playing with the team, and also more of, like, I would see as like a defensive type thing. Not so much, well, it's going to be really good for dealing damage, but I see this more as being something to help yourself along with your allies, where, in my humble opinion, using these two together playing solo I think would be a little bit more beneficial, but then again, I actually did not get to play with this particular Undercover action skill. That's going to do it for this video, guys. I'll make a full breakdown of Amara probably tomorrow, or you know what, let's shoot for Wednesday for that video. I got a whole bunch of footage of Amara. I did get to play as Amara for a little bit, but I did not get to record it because my play session was over. However, Arix Gaming did share his footage with me, so expect that video up probably on Wednesday. So if you enjoyed this video, a like rating is very much appreciated. Leave me a hashtag made it to the end if you did make it to the end. And that's it, guys. I'll see you on the next video.